Stripe, Tempo, PayPal, the recent acquisition announcements with the BVNK for Mastercard, right?
Yes.
From my open banking acquisition days, we got acquired by Mastercard as well. And they talk about this multi-rail strategy, which is exactly the same as when they acquired open banking players. It's this concept of however and whenever you're moving money and getting paid and so forth, they want a stake in that. But the way that I'm thinking about blockchain and stablecoin and so on is about almost removing the middleman and looking at and faster ways to have the relationship between the merchant and then the customer. What is it that you see is happening now, and what is it that people should keep a watch for, and what's still uncertain in all of this?
So I think old intermediaries are replaced by new ones, for my first thesis. So I think the old intermediaries were very much playing at a regional level, whereas in the new realm, I think there we will see global intermediaries that are either Stripe or others, or maybe players who are close to Stripe and that serve that market globally. What's very interesting about Visa and Mastercard is that even if you use crypto like so I use a crypto Visa card for nearly everything I pay with, but it's the last mile problem. Yeah, so the last mile problem is still dominated by these credit card companies, and I think Visa did a fantastic job to be relevant. So they have so many different partners, many crypto players.
Where they're partnered with both Circle and Bridge, right?
Yes, exactly. But also the players, even like Gnosis. So I'm using Gnosis Pay, for example, which is a very crypto native company. But how do you spend your stablecoin? You need to go through someone like Visa in that case. And I think Mastercard is less strong traditionally on that level. Most successful players partnered with Visa, to be really honest. And I think this billion worth of acquisition of BVNK is actually a sign of we need to move now, because Visa is eating our lunch regarding these crypto native users, actually, because Visa has quite some strong partnerships in place there. I think the main reason for this acquisition of BVNK to catch up and say, well, okay, actually, we have a strong customer base there. We have a strong technical solution that brings us maybe head to head with Visa again. The interesting question for the crypto players is, do they accept that the credit card players avoid being Kodak? So kudos to these two players. They didn't sleep. They see it coming. They similar to BlackRock and other trade. It's about survival. It's about acknowledge. Actually, it's the strongest acknowledgement of the technology that players like BlackRock, Visa, and Mastercard pay that amount for M&A to come up with new solutions, and admitting, okay, we don't even know if we can keep the margins as high as in the past. Something's moving here. So that's for me the ultimate proof that we talk about the how and the when, but not the if. This is coming, because these strong players invest a lot of money, and for them it's absolutely clear that this is the future. But that's the wake-up signal for everybody else who's still watching or just preparing custody solutions and not really going into that business and actually actively or even aggressively offering better conditions, better solutions, more digital solutions to their clients. So these guys are showing us where the future is. And the interesting thing for the crypto guys is, okay, you always promised strong alternatives to these old players, but where is it? Do we pay with QR codes, dynamic QR codes, where you can directly pay stablecoin from your wallet? How fast is that? How open is that? Which blockchain is used then? Are you there where the users actually are? And that's all resolved by Visa. We all know it's not about payments. It's also about insurance and really getting at the money if something goes wrong. This whole acquirer network. Everybody wants to get rid of the acquirer network, but then again, you enjoy the services that Visa and others serve beyond the payment itself. And that's the open question for the crypto folks. How can they actually compete on the last mile with these players? And that's different in the developing markets. When we talk about these kiosks in Africa, I think they seem to find ways to actually make it an end-to-end thing. With solutions from Celo and Opera Mini going more on mobile use cases, etc. So that's very different from the developed countries. For crypto, I think that's a very interesting thing. Is it compelling enough in the developed countries for them to replace Visa or Mastercard? I got some doubts.